Welcome to the 9th day of Christmas, ladies and gentlemen. We just have a few more days left, but today's contest is brought to you by our friends at TradingCardMint.com. That's right. Sorry, this one is going to be USA only for those of you that are going to be participating. We have 6 packs of the latest set and 2 packs of sleeves to give away to 1 lucky winner. So comment down below, get entered in, and of course like this video. And a link to TradingCardMint.com will be down below. Heard if you enter MCO40 on checkout, you'll get a chance to save a little bit of money. Let's pass it on over to the deck profile, shall we? Which you guys actually came here for. It is hot outside. I hate it so much. Nothing says Christmas spirit than a Charmer deck, ladies and gentlemen. So, Akeno once again has defeated the odds and sent me a wonderful deck profile. Now, first couple things I want to say about this. Charmer Stun has always been one of the decks I get the chance to enjoy most in this game. I think conceptually, the concept is great. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, Hida is one of the best cards that they've ever given. I would like to see more of these for the archetypes. I assume at some point we'll see Iria or something like that. I kind of think they're a little bit too spaced out at the moment, but that's fine. That's fine. I digress. We will eventually get to the point that we will release more of these. Now, what's going on? Why are we talking about this? Well, they recently have started to get more support. One of the newest cards that they are getting is Possessed Awakening. All monsters you control gain attack equal to the number of different attributes you control times 300. So as long as you have multiple targets on the field, you'll be able to kind of accumulate some extra push. Now, Charmer and Familiar Possessed monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. So once again, this creates a little buffer for your creatures. And if a Spellcaster monster with 1800 or 1850 attack is normal or special summon to your field, you get to draw 1 card. And of course, you can only use this effect of Possessed Awakening once per turn. So what you're getting out of this is an attack boost, check. Globalized protection, check. Draw power, absolutely all wrapped into 1 card. Now, of course, Unpossessed is still a really good card. Charmer monster you control cannot be destroyed by battle. And if a Familiar Possessed monster you control attacks an opponent's monster, it gains 800 attack during damage calculation only. And if a monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon 1 Spellcaster type monster with 1500 defense from your deck, whose attribute is at least one of those destroyed monsters' original attributes on the field in attack position or face down defense position. Now, here's the thing with Charmers, alright? Charmers globally are all flip effect monsters that strive to be flipped to take a specific monster from the opponent. Hida, target 1 face-up fire monster. You take control of that target while this card is face-up on the field. So basically, if anything happens to her, she is basically going to pass the monster back over to the opponent. It's a little tendency or a little bad thing, I guess, kind of have to deal with this deck. But, alas, it's not all a bad thing. Come on, guys. Now, let's kind of dig into the deck profile, see why we're playing certain cards, things like that. Now, triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Big thing with this. Alright, you have a card that is you can disrupt your opponent with. Fantastic. It's one of the things that this deck needs, actually all decks really need. So, yes, we have to push this out. 2 copies of Fairy Tale Luna. 1850 to meet the requirements for the draw card. Check. Spellcaster monster. Check. Alright. Searchability for another 1850 monster in my deck. Check. Just a very overall good card for the synergy of this deck. You get the ability to push for greater numbers, and I mean it's all wrapped up in one little box for you here. Now we play the 2 Familiar Possessed Darks. You can also summon this card from your hand by sending 1 face-up D-Hawk, the Dark Charmer you control, and 1 face-up Dark Monster you control to the graveyard. We don't really care about that. And when you do, you can add 1 level 3 or 4 light Spellcaster type monster from your deck to your hand. If this card was special summoned by the effect and attacks defense mode monster, You get Trample. I mean, we're not going to trigger it for that, but base Dark Waifu does have an ability. Now, we also have the 2 Hida, so you can send 1 Hida and 1 fire monster you control to the graveyard, special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, it gets the following ability. Also gets Trample. Alright, so I don't know how I feel about that. This one is definitely, it's not Iria, it's not based waifu. That's all I gotta say. Now, we play the 2 Lin, so you can special summon this card by sending 1 face-up Lin and 1 face-up light monster control to the graveyard. When special summoned, you can add 1 Spellcaster monster with 1500 defense, except for Familiar Possessed Lin, to your hand. And if this card is special summoned by its own effect tax defense of a monster, you get Trample. Really like how all of these get Trample. Huh. Now, of course, we played the triple copies of Hida, which in the current format, honestly, this is probably one of the better ones. In your solid matchup, you're able to take over one of their Salaman Great cards, which is honestly about as much value as you're going to get out of this. I think, in terms of good attributes, I think we have the best ones present here. So flip, take a fire monster. Ye old Lina, or Lina, take control of 1 light monster your opponent controls. You can be up in the air about this. I think in terms of synergy and things, once again, in today's format, these are probably the best. And then, of course, Dark over here. Flip, take control of an opponent's Dark monster. Pretty self-explanatory for the choices across the board on these. I see no problems with this. Now, 3 copies of Possessed Awakening. I think somebody is going to be like, well, why do you need 3 of this card? So where I am at the point with this, you want to see this card. So you're going to max it out in terms of numbers. Hard bricks are hard bricks, which is unfortunate. You know, you can't win all of your bricks out of your deck, but this is fine, maxing out. Triple copies of Pot of Extravagance. Once again, another card that we need to be maximizing and actually seeing in the game. If you don't get the chance to draw your outs to anything, well, that's all she wrote. We have the triple copies of Pot of Duality. Same thing, we're trying to tutor for our best cards. Any sort of brick we get, not much we can do about it. Now, we are a Spellcaster deck, so yes, we do get access to Secret Village. Now, my complaint about Secret Village is you also want to have Mystic Mind to control certain matchups. Granted, we have no real change for this, and if we draw it, we draw it. That's kind of where we are with this deck. If we see certain cards, great, we did it. Other cards, they're not so impactful this format. While why Secret Village has been good in the past, not so great now. It's dependent on the format. Of course, the 1 copy of the Mystic Mind, you stick it, slow down your opponent, start getting back into a game-winning position. Yeah, we have access to those things. That's what we want to see. We have the triple copies of Solemn Judgment. Now that this card has come back off of the list, we want to be using this in defensive means. Stopping any key cards that the opponent could throw down, that would potentially ruin our day. Yeah, right here. Congratulations. Triple Judgment changes the flow and the pace of the game. That's what we want in the current format, right? Then, of course, triple copies of Unpossessed. One of the best cards that this deck has in terms of support. Not going to change it, baby. And then, of course, we have the triple copies of Waboku. Just a very chainable card to make sure that we don't lose. We are a deck that is very, very dependent on those sticky battle situations. And at a time where we might not be able to resolve a key strategy or stick something key, Waboku will at least buy us time to get to that point. So, value in that. Now, extra deck down here, we do play Extravagance. So, depending on the situation that arises, it just kind of depends on what we're going to value in here. So, the 1 Unicorn, 2 copies of Phoenix for back row removal, 1 Hida, 1 copy of the Chimera Doolittle, 1 Borrelsword Dragon and 1 Borreload, 2 copies of the Ding Ding. So we take control of the opponent's Galtea, by the way. You go flip Dark, take the opponent's Galtea, overlay Ding Ding on top of it. And you're just like, what happened? And of course, 2 Starving Venom, 2 copies of Salamangreat Violet Chimera, Ryan Dragus Tapalia, and 1 Mud Dragon for Super Poly targets. Because we have absolutely no reason not to be abusing Super Poly in this deck. Side deck here, 2 copies of Doggoron, 1 copy of Jizukuru, 2 copies of Radion the Multidimensional Kaiju, 1 Thunder King Kaiju, triple copies of the Interrupt Kaiju Slumber, triple Super Polymerization, and triple Evenly Matched. Wrapping up Akeno's deck profile for you guys. What do you think about charmers? Like I said, today's contest going to be down below. Super easy for you guys to get entered in. Please do not enter if you're from Europe. You can still comment, just tell me if you're from Europe. But that is all I got for this video, guys. See you guys on, well, the next day of Christmas in July. Stay classy. Cold. Yes, stay cold out there. I like it. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a truffle shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out VanCole40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.